could figure out just about anything else, but that marvelous thing that they possess fascinated me. And I hung out with some really good singers. As a matter of fact, I spent about an hour with Ella on a train. The only time I ever met her, never saw her again. We had a wonderful conversation. She was quite a lady, and I hung out with Helen Forrest and Peggy, and I remember one night sitting and listening to Peggy and Mel sing a duet in a closed nightclub, and found myself teary-eyed and amazed. Julie asked me some time ago if I could do it all over again, what would I be? And I said, unequivocally a tenor, a great tenor, not just an average tenor. It would have to be Pavarotti, which reminds me of a tale that you might enjoy, if I'm not boring you with. Julie and I were in bed in Switzerland. It was a... and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because coming from me, it is not the best told story. Up to a point, it's better that she relates it to you. And then she'll turn the mic over to me.
You're a bad boy. We had spent the evening with my mother, who had chosen that evening to be just foul, if you'll pardon the expression. And she had made the evening very unpleasant. And sadly, it was her birthday, and she wasn't very happy. And we made an enormous effort and gave her a great evening and went back home and turned on our television in bed, and there was a tribute to Pavarotti on the television. And it made us both weep. It was wonderful. He sang great arias. He went home to his hometown, and you met his father and his wife and his children and everything. But it was the great, great arias that were so magnificent. And when the program was over, I said to Blake, what is it about singing that is so special? I mean, it's you don't see anything. You can't practice really in front of a mirror. It's a very lonely thing. I think it is exposing your soul. It is, and I waxed wonderfully poetic. And Blake said, yes, I agree with you. It is that. And I said, you know, it's just a miracle, that's all. And isn't it amazing that that man made us weep tonight? And he just opened his heart and poured out his soul. And Blake said yes, and we said, good night, darling, and good night, darling, and turned the lights out, and there was a beat, a count of about 10, and I heard, red sails in the sunset. And I laughed for about half an hour. And he was dead serious. He said, don't laugh. I was just bearing my soul to you. And he was, you know, he did it brilliantly and would not let me off the hook. And the more serious he was, he said, I was singing. He sang me a Met Golden Oldies that night. And I thought if the world could see this Blake Edwards, they would love him the way I have for the past 32 years.
To try to be a little serious for a moment, I truly love singers, in particular one. It's terrific just to be able to carry a tune, which I cannot. It's to have that wonderful ability to make music out of your mouth is just staggering to me. And I've watched this lady for all those years. The agonies that she goes through each day that singers, in order to keep going and be good, have to work out like any athlete, and even more sometimes. I couldn't bear it. I mean, the sounds that come out when you're doing that are just despicable. They come right from Hades. We had a cat that the minute she'd start vocalizing, couldn't, if she'd been a bird, it would have killed her right on the spot. And he couldn't attack her really, except when she'd accompany herself on the piano, he would jump on the piano and throw himself on her hands and lie there making these ghastly noises trying to cover up what she was doing. And the point is, it's one thing to be a singer. It's wonderful. It's another to be, to have that special voice. I know I'm prejudiced, but she has such a unique voice. And to get maudlin for a moment, to lose it is maybe I consider one of the greatest tragedies, certainly of her life and of mine and of anybody else that misses it. And I could go on and on about us and her singing, and I'm going to leave it here just to say that you deserve to be honored tonight. I'm going to raise hell with you later about furnishing the house and things like that. But for now, for this moment, congratulations. You deserve it. I love you dearly. And I hope we hang out for another 30 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Loggia. I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live. Are there lilac trees in the heart of town? Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour out of every door? No, it's just on the street where you live. And oh, the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me. For there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be.